even in English. King James. I'm like, oh, that's whack. I'm writing these down. And I went home, I was mad. My wife goes, what are you so upset about? I said, I don't like him. She said, why? I said, I just don't like him. She said, well, what did you think about what he said? I said, well, if I can find my Bible, I'm going to look him up. Because I don't think he's right. So big old arrogant me, 23 years old, thinking I know everything, sit down with my Bible the next day and go through these Bible verses, and I came to a conclusion. He was right. But I didn't like his attitude. So my wife said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go talk to him. She said, oh, please. I said, no, I'm going to go talk to him. So I made an appointment with him on Tuesday, and I walked in. Now, what I didn't know about Pastor Danny, well, he's about 5'4", 5'5", about 270. What I didn't know was he is the former Georgia State Highway Patrol powerlifting champion. So I'm going to go in and have a confrontation with this man. And I walk into his office, and he's sitting at his desk like this. Looked like Ross Perot with a Bible. Right? I mean, it was hysterical. And I walk in, and he goes, so why are you here, Tom? And I said, preacher, I don't like what you said. What's the problem? I said, well, I read the verse and everything. I said, but I just don't like your attitude. And he starts giving me this little, southern attitude thing. And he says, I'll tell you what, Tom, I'll make a deal with you. For 30 days, you're mine. And if after 30 days, what I tell you to do doesn't change your life, you can walk out those doors, I'll never bother you again. And I said, all right. He said, for 30 days, you don't miss a word of service or Sunday school. And I said, what's that? He said, that's Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and Sunday school. I said, all right. I started to get up. He said, sit down. For 30 days, you don't miss prayer room. I said, prayer room? What's a prayer room? He said, that's an hour before Sunday school, hour before Sunday night, hour before Wednesday night, and Tuesday, Thursday at noon for an hour. I'm like, you got to be messing with me. I started to get up and sit down. There's more. For 30 days, you will memorize 5 Bible verses every day. You will put them on flashcards, and at the end of every week, there will be a quiz. I'm like, so I'm thinking to myself, well, I got Jesus wept for all sin. I figured I had like 2 days in the bag, right? And I said, all right, fine. And I started to get up and just sit down. There's more. For 30 days every day, you will tell 5 people that you're a Christian, and you will bring me their names. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I started to stand up. I went, is there more? He said, yes, there's more. For 30 days every day, you will invite 5 people to church. And you will bring me their names, and they cannot be the same 5 people that you told you were a Christian. I said, so let me get this straight. I got to be in Sunday school, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. I got to be in prayer room for an hour before Sunday school, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday, Thursday at noon. I got to memorize 150 Bible verses. I got to tell 150 people that I'm a Christian, and I got to invite a different 150 people to church. And he goes, yeah, can you handle it? And I said, you're on. And in 2 weeks, my life was completely different. 2 weeks. Why? Because when I got back in fellowship with God's people, it got me back connecting people to people. It got me connected to a group of people that could help support me in my own journey. When I got back to talking to God 5 hours a week, which was getting me connected to God. When I got into His Word, and it's not just enough to be in His Word, people. His Word's got to get into you. Okay? When I read His Word, and it started to change the way that I felt. It started to change the way that I think. All of a sudden, I'm not thinking about me anymore. I started thinking about God. In 2 weeks, my life was completely different. And if you're here today and you got no joy, I'll dare you, double dog dare you, to take you up on the same bet. And I'll go easy on you. 1 Bible verse a day. 1 friend a day. 1 invitation a day. I'll give you the easy way out. It will change your life because all of a sudden now you want the things of God. Psalm 34 says, when we delight ourselves in the things of the Lord, He gives us the desires of our heart. And there's so many people that want to teach you that what that says is, well, whatever you want, God's going to give it to you. But that's not what it means. When we delight ourselves in the things of the Lord, He places His desires in our heart so that we want what He wants. Well, of course He's going to give you what He wants. But you'll never know what it is to have heart, if you're not spending time in His Word and hanging with His people. You can't do it. And Satan wants to take this fellowship and he wants to destroy it. He wants to tear it apart. For you personally, for your family, and for this church. He wants to rip it apart. Because he knows that together we can accomplish much more than we can individually. True? What's he want to destroy? Your impact. Your influence. He wants you to have no influence on your children. He wants you to have no influence on your neighbors or the people that you work with. Satan wants you to have no impact with the people who live right beside us or in the housing area right beside that. He wants us to have no impact on the Montessori school. He wants us to not even know who that guy is that lives across the street. Satan wants to rip apart every relationship that you have. Why? Not because he wants you to be alone so you'll be effective. It's so that you won't pass it on to somebody else who passes it on. And so if he can destroy that impact, he wins. He knows he loses the war, but he won that little battle, that at least he can snuff it out. And he can keep it contained. He gets you quarantined, basically, because you won't have any impact after that. I want you to look around the room, and I want you to watch what we do in the next couple minutes. If you are new to this church in this year, in 2009, stand up. That's a few people. You can have a seat. You go have a seat. All right? That's awesome. Amen. That's amazing. Okay? And the people in the first service too. If in 2009 you have given your life to Jesus for the first time, stand up. If you're here, you gave your life to Jesus for the first time. If you've recommitted your life to Christ, or this church has had a significant impact in your life in 2009, stand up. That's a lot of people. You can have a seat. When we look around the room, this story's not finished. Right? This is just in process. This is just a journey that we're on. You know, when you look over here at Damien, how much is that worth? A young man gives his life to Christ and wants to be in the ministry. There's another guy that I know that's here almost every week, and today he's not here, but Ray, tall, lanky guy that usually sits over on my left, came to me desperate. His wife had just died, ready to just cash it all in. And instead, he starts coming to church and he gets connected to our karate ministry. And I went out and I helped him find some employment, and now he works every week. And today, this guy would tell you, this church saved my life. Amen. That's impact. That's the kind of impact we can have multiple times. Satan doesn't want that to happen. Would you agree? Because it kind of goes against his plan. So he wants to destroy, kill, stop our impact. And if we lose our joy and we lose our connectedness, then we have little or no influence anywhere, let alone in Orlando. So the thief has a plan. Well, the problem is, we know the plan. Okay? And so we have got to have our guard up. How many more stories will there be like this a year from now? Last year, this church was 125 people. We've had over 200 people the last 2 weeks in a year. That's pretty cool. But how many more stories will there be a year from now? Those of you that have teenagers, what will that youth group look like in a year? They have between 40 and 60 kids here on Sunday nights. We have kids that are excited about being a follower of Jesus that a year or 2 years ago wanted nothing to do with religion. We have kids today who have accepted Jesus, been baptized, committed themselves to the mission field. What's that going to look like in a year? 150 kids? Yes. What about the relationship we have with the Academy through Pastor Colin and being involved in those lives and being involved with those parents and the staff there? What will happen in a year? What will happen a year from now with our worship team and the media and the stuff that we do as ways of getting the message out? What will it look like in a year? Because this will be exponentially bigger a year from now. You understand that? Because why? Because God is up to something here. What about you? How will your life be different a year from now? If you take my 30-day dare, I promise you your life will be different in a year. I promise you. But how will this church minister to you? Will it help you in your relationships? Will it help you in your finances? Is it going to help you with your kids? I don't know. But a year from now, the story is just being written. And you need to know something. Our mission is not over. Why? Because we haven't connected to all the people. And all the people aren't yet connected to God. That's why our story is not over. And you just saying, keep